What if I told you why this new Shure SM7dB falls short in today's audio market? And perhaps it might be a bit of a foolish buy for most. Well, I am going to say that. But first, let's go over what it is. So the SM7B is probably the most complained about microphone, and the reason for that is its sensitivity. The SM7B is notorious for needing over 60 dB of gain just to get a decent signal out of it. Something that a lot of streamers and podcasters have regrettably experienced after dropping $400 on this bad boy. So Shure has an answer, which is this: the Shure SM7dB. Same great mic, just more dB. Literally. Taking a page from a few other mics released over the years, Shure has included a dual gain booster in this mic, which now offers either 18 or 28 dB of gain, which is a heck of a boost. But we can't just boil down this release to a simple dual stage preamp in the mic. You have to remember, this is one of the most iconic microphones of all time, and it only has 2 previous refreshes on the books, the last one coming back in 2001. So this would mean that this is the first upgrade in 22 years on the SM7 lineup. So then, what's new? Well, the mic has grown a bit and is now 8.1 millimeters longer. The girth, though, has stayed the same. On the mic side of things, nothing's changed all the way back to the yoke mount. Same old, same old. But then we get into some of the changes, some of which are dividing people. Of course, you have the branding on the top of the barrel here. Green lettering on the DB is meant to stand out. And of course, the one everyone's complaining about is the Shure logo down the side of the barrel. A lot of people thrown off and kind of irritated by this. But you do have to admit, it does make sense. At a glance, most people wouldn't be able to tell these apart unless they're side by side. And considering there's a high chance these things are going to be featured in videos, you have to remember that companies want to promote their products, and they will take every opportunity to do so. Love it or hate it, you will not be able to escape this. Honestly, you should just be thankful it didn't get released with that green logo. Now, the next big changes from the upgrade hit when you come around to the back of the microphone. Here's where that iconic backplate has gotten a massive upgrade. Gone are those garbage switches that no one ever touched. Now you have actual switches that you probably will never touch. What a thought. Now, you also get your bypass switch and your preamp selection switch. Of course, you also have that splash of green back there as well, which I'm sure will trigger many. Other than the great logo controversy of 2023, though, it is a rather tasteful upgrade. You really don't mess too much with an icon, right? But with that new circuitry, does it sound any different? So now we have the SM7dB up against the SM7B, and this is what it sounds like as I go back and forth between them. Both microphones pointed at about a 45-degree angle to the corner of my mouth, and I'm only about 2 inches away from them. And this is what it sounds like. What do you think as I go between them? By the way, both of these have 61 dB of gain. What do you think as I go between them? Is there any difference in sound between the SM7dB and the SM7B? I can't hear a difference. In fact, even with the preamp on, there's little to no coloration. It's rather impressive. Okay then, what about the other tests, like off-axis? This is me speaking about 2 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm speaking about 2 inches off the side of the capsule. And now I'm speaking into the rear of the capsule like an idiot. Here I'm speaking about 2 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm speaking about 2 inches off the side of the capsule. And now I'm speaking into the rear of the capsule like a complete moron. Nope. How about proximity? This is me speaking directly into the front of the capsule from about 2 inches away. Now I'm directly on top of the capsule. 2 inches away, directly on top. This is me speaking about 2 inches off the front of the capsule. Now I'm directly on top of the capsule. 2 inches, directly on top. Not there either. Plosives? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. 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 Nope. What about those weird switches on the back that no one ever seems to use? This with the roll-off and the mid-range boost on the SM7dB, and this is what it sounds like. Now back to normal on the SM7dB. This is without the switches engaged. Now this is the SM7B with the switches engaged. Wow, no. Hammer and nail test? Okay then. If all that is true, and it is, why did I just say all those mean things at the beginning of this video? I mean, This thing should be a hit. Well, there is a bit of an issue here in 2023. You see, while that 60 plus dB of gain seemed insurmountable a few years back, over the past year or so, the gap with interfaces has closed considerably. The Rodecaster series, including the Streamer X, has 76 dB of gain. The new Mackie DLZ Creator has 80 dB of gain. Even the new Scarlett 4th generation of interfaces has 69.
Nice.
Even newcomers to the interface space are recognizing the gain needs of the masses, with the Lua Connect 6 having 72 dB of gain. Gone are the days of sub 55 dB of gain. The masses have spoken, and companies have largely been listening. So that means even if you're still rocking a last-gen interface, the next time you upgrade, this mic and its extra $100 price tag becomes kind of stupid, which makes me sad, and not because I may have seemingly wasted my money on this purchase, but because it's the next generation of the SM7 series. This mic would have been Mic of the Year in 2020. And honestly, with the latest craze being pushed by Rode with their XLR and USB combo mics, I think this might have been a missed opportunity by Shure. Think about it. An SM7B that you can use from day one and never have to upgrade. Start with USB, and when the time is right, you can graduate to XLR. And we all know this is possible because Shure just released a tiny little preamp. Who knows? Maybe it's already on the way. Perhaps that would be the next SM7C, as in USB-C. By the way, credit to Mr. Minor AI for that, or Mr. Minor Owl, can't tell which one. Though it would be incredible to see, and it would also let people correct the other shortcoming that the SM7B can have, and that is the bland sound when it's left raw. This microphone sounds like the equivalent to audio cardboard. It needs EQ and compression to really shine. Now, wouldn't that be cool? That said, I think Shure might be trying to protect their other big release from a few years back, the MV7. Another USB and XLR combo mic would probably wipe that whole part of their lineup out, which basically leaves us with this. So then, should you buy the Shure SM7dB? Well, if you have more than 65 dB of gain on your interface, no. This is a mic that is fitting less and less people. And over the course of the next year, as more and more interfaces are released with higher gain ranges, this mic just looks more and more out of date. Something I never thought I would say about a Shure SM7 series of microphone. However, I do have to include one ray of sunshine for this mic and one scenario where that extra boost to gain might be useful. If you're using an SM7B to record a quiet source, this might actually be a big plus. Ironically, this might be the new king of ASMR, something that the old SM7B could never be accused of. All that aside though, I do have some real fears of this overtaking the SM7B as the only SM7. I explained that in this video up here. I really hope that both of these microphones can live on in the Shure lineup, and we aren't going to see the SM7B fade into history, much like the SM7 and the SM7A. And if you want to know the full story of Shure and how they earned that legendary title, check out this video up here, criminally underviewed, if you ask me.